Welcome to A Shot of Joe, the place where you come to get enlightened and get empowered. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking below or going to ashotofjoe.com. And we're going through right now, of course, an extreme situation, and it's bringing up a lot of fear for people. So, what I want to do is talk a little bit about fear and faith and how those things work together and why you need them. You actually need fear. So when we look at fear, a lot of people always talk about don't have fear, don't be afraid of anything. And the bottom line is we actually need fear to have an experience here as humans. Because if we had no fear, think about this, if you had zero fear, you'd be vibrating at such a high level of energy that you would not be able to stay here in the physical world. You would just be at such a high level of vibration. So we need some fear. It keeps us here in physical form, but we want to use fear in the correct way because in all energy, we have the yin yang. So we have positive and negative. So there are positive elements of fear and there are negative elements of fear. So when we look at fear, it's really to be used as something to protect us and keep us safe. It's something, it's that instinct, it's that thing that says to you, don't walk down that dark alley at night. I grew up in New York, and one of the things that was always fascinating to me was people would always run and jog and go through Central Park. That was not fascinating. But what was fascinating was people would do it at night, late at night. They would jog through Central Park, which of course is a place in New York City where you can have some space and do those types of things. But on the news, it seemed like every couple of weeks there was a story about someone who was jogging through Central Park at night, and a lot of women even by themselves, and they got mugged or they got attacked or whatever the case may be. So here's a case where if you know that this is dangerous, if you're seeing people get hurt, a little fear would serve you well in that situation because you say, well, yeah, you know what? That's not a good idea. I should have fear of doing that. That's a protection. That's the way I protect myself. What we're going through now is a little different because with this whole situation with the pandemic, we are moving into an area that humans have a hard time with, which is fear of the unknown. People do not like it when they don't know what is coming or what is happening. And this is an area that humans struggle with because we spend a lot of time in our lives trying to control our situation, control the environment, get a safe job, or live in a safe neighborhood, or all the different things that we do, which is nothing wrong with that, right? We want to be safe, we want to be secure. This is part of being a human that is normal. But now, because of what's happening, we have been pushed into this uncertainty. And nobody likes uncertainty, right? We like to say, well, I could see where I'm going, or I see a direction, or I see what's happening. So now we have to move into the area of faith. Because when we get into these situations, and sometimes this happens, I've seen this with so many people I've worked with over the years. It could have been they were trying to get a certain job, or they were trying to, get into a relationship, or whatever they were doing. And people would say to me, I've done everything and nothing is working. Or I've done all these different things, I'm not getting the results that I want. And there comes a point where you have to say, you know what, I have to have faith that I will be taken to the right place for me. So right now you may be sitting there and saying, maybe you're out of work, maybe you're running out of money, maybe you can't pay your bills, whatever's going on for you, or maybe your job is uncertain, or maybe your company may not come back, whatever it is that's going on for you, or your relationship is going through some issues, whatever is happening for you, this is something where you have to sit very quietly and say to yourself, I have to have faith that I am going to be taken to the right place for me. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to live in that space of faith. Now, it's hard to do sometimes because especially when, as we're sitting, especially in a situation like this, where we're sitting there and we're waiting and we don't know when this will end or when people will go back to work or when businesses will reopen or the whole economy and all these different things that are going on. We're not sure. And there are going to be days when you say, wow, I feel pretty good today. I feel faithful. I feel like it'll be okay. And then there may be days when you break down. And even myself, but I've had these days where certain days I'm like, yeah, everything's great, everything's fine. This is a divine event. Everything's going to be great. But I'm still human. Even though I've been doing this work for decades, there are days when I get up and I say to myself, man, what the hell is going on over here? What's happening? What are we What are we doing? So I'm seeing all these things as well. So understand that you're going to have good days and bad days. The bottom line is hold your faith, keep your faith, and know that in the end, in the big picture, you're going to be taken to the best place for you, and you're going to take lessons out of this experience that you're going to use for the rest of your life. So hang tough, understand that this will end like everything else, but hold your faith. When you have your bad days, it's okay. Just say, okay, I'm having a bad day today. The next day will be better. So may you be blessed, and I'll see you soon.